Hello everyone, this is Deborah from DeborahAdele's Craft Room. Today we're going to be painting a penguin ornament on a gourd. These are the paints that we're going to be using for this project. They're from DecoArt Americana acrylic paints. We have black, white, Hauser medium green, Santa red, antique gold, and red iron oxide. The list of the paints will be underneath the video in the description box. First thing you do is you paint the whole gourd black. You might need 2 coats, but mostly the black covers in 1 coat on a gourd. The next thing you do is draw an oval around the front of the gourd. After you find the side that you want to have the front be. And then you draw 2 wings. I don't know if you can see that. See that line? You draw a straight line down and then over here. And then on the other side, you do it again. If they're not even, they're not as long as each other or up as high in the start area, just adjust that. The pencil lines are not going to matter because the black paint will cover them, and the white paint will too. You see that? Okay. I've gone ahead and painted another gourd, 2 coats of the white in the belly. You see how the arms look now next to the oval. You see how the top of the oval is right about where you will want a bow tie. The thing you do is shade the belly. This white might take 2 or maybe even 3 coats to cover because you are covering black. Okay, so now I'm going to get antique gold. It's not metallic, it's just a regular gold like maize or anything like that. Okay, put the paintbrush in the water like I did. Touch the towel to pull off any excess drips. Stick the side of your paintbrush in to the antique gold and shade around the entire belly of the penguin. See how that looks? If you go up on the black, no worries, because we can touch it up after the shading is done. Okay. Okay, there you go. The penguin is shaded. Now you touch up all around. Wherever you see yellow on the black, make a nice sharp line there. Okay. Alrighty, there you go. Now I get a pencil out and I draw in the face. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. You start here at the about halfway down the little head part, and you make a triangle with a rounded top. I'll show you this in just a second. You see how that looks? Can we see? Let's see. There we go. You see that? Okay. And above that, you make two ovals right on the top of the beak. Can you see those? Let me see. Let me get that in there, right? There you go. Can you see those? Okay. Okay, next thing you do, this is my change out for time's sake. I painted the beak and the eyes white. You want to put a base coat of white underneath the beak color so that it brightens it up a little bit. And the white, I've only done one coat on them. They're going to need two. You can put more white on the beak if you want to, but it's not necessary. I'll just do it because I had some extra paint I want to drag out of there, not making ridges. Okay. All right, there you go. That's what it looks like. Now, while we wait for the eyes to dry, I'll put some holly leaves in. I'm going to use Hauser medium green. Okay. I'm going to use my liner brush to do it. Put a dot right here in the center, right under the beak, so you know where to start. You see that? And I'm going to follow the angle of the belly on both sides. That'll be the guideline for the holly berries. No, the holly berry leaves. Now these are going to be bigger than the ones on the other ornaments that I've painted. So you'll like to make them nicer and, you know, more symmetrical if you can, because they show more. There's one. Of course, everything that you put on this gourd, if it's bordering the black, if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal because the black will cover it if you want to do touch-up work. There's the second one, and I'm sorry, I was not painting in your direction. Here we go. Forest green is not a good color for these particular holly leaves because the black, there's not enough contrast with the black when you put them up against the black. So I used a brighter green. I'm touching this one up because I made it, it's too small compared to the other one. I made the other one too big. And of course I got some green on the white because that's what happens. And I'm going to just touch it. And it's gone. Now we have to wait for the, I think the eyes are dry enough so we can do the beak. Again, you take the antique gold with your liner brush and you paint the beak. Probably need 2 coats. Okay. And I'm goofing it up left and right here, so I'm going to have to do some touch-up work with the black. The point needs a little attention. I like to make it a little rounded, so it's not a total point. The beak is done. I think it's a little crooked, but you know, that's okay. It makes it especially yours when it's crooked. Okay, next step. While we wait for the green to dry for the red berries, the next step is buttons. You need new paint, new black paint here because the other puddle of black paint is drying up. Okay, I have a different brush. It has a flat bottom, and I want the buttons to be a little bigger than usual dots. So I'm going to put 1 dot here in the middle. That's the first one. We're putting a tuxedo on him. 2 dots. Try not to go off at an angle. I've done that before. 3 dots. There he is. He's got his tuxedo vest on now. Another thing you do, wet your liner brush, get a little bit of the white, make the paint a little inky with the water so that it, you know, so that it works out. Okay, now here what I like to do is I like to, on the edge of here, I like to do a white line here. So it looks like his arm is extending a little. There you go. Now do it on the other side. Go across the whole bottom, and then there. Now you'll want to touch it up if you didn't get all the way to the end. Okay. Make this one a little thicker. All right, there you have it. Kind of makes it pop a little, doesn't it? Okay. Now let's put another coat of antique gold on the beak. Okay. Now be careful of those buttons because with the bigger dip dot, they take a little longer to dry. Okay, now I'm going to do the eyes. I'm going to take my number 3 round, the back of my number 3 round right here, and I'm going to dip into that fresh puddle of paint there, and I'm going to dip down like that. Then you do the other one. Try not to overlap your dip dot onto the beak. Okay? He just comes alive, doesn't he? Okay, now with the white again, you want to make eyebrows. You touch down and you have an eyebrow. Again, see if you can see this. Touch down and you have an eyebrow. 2 eyebrows. And then we want to put some eyelashes on him. 1, 2, 3. My first eyelash is a little thick. I don't like that. I'll probably paint it out and do it again. Okay, try again now with another one. 1, 2, 3. There you have it. Eyelashes. Getting cuter by the minute. I'm putting the second coat of green on the leaves now because I could see some white underneath them, and I didn't want to see that. Okay. Because these leaves are so big compared to the other ones, another thing I do is I get some black, make it inky with some water on your liner brush, and I like to draw a line down. Looks like the vein of the leaf. Okay? And you can draw some other lines, you know, the other leaf lines. If you want to. But this whole thing right here is optional. You don't need to put any lines on the leaf if you don't feel like it. Okay, now. Okay. You see that? How that looks? Some of these are a little thick, probably going to have to fix them, but that's okay. It's time to put the holly berries on the leaves now. I'm using my number 8 flat, the bottom end of it, and I'm going to put one berry here in the center, You can have it be one berry if you'd like. I'm going to put 3 in to show you how to do it. 2, 3. There we go, a triangle of berries. We're going to have to let this dry for a few minutes before I can finish it up. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to shade the beak. You get a little water on your brush, touch it down. I'm not touching hard, I'm just touching so it pulls the excess water out. Put just a little, because the beak's not very big, so you don't want to have this color all over the place. Okay, you put it on the edge of the front, the top of the beak near the eyes. And you shade. Okay, just a second. See. That looks a little dark to me. I'm going to try to blend it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then I want to put a little tiny bit at the bottom of the beak. There we go. Now comes the toothpick. I got a toothpick here, and on the beak, it dries pretty fast, so you can do this almost immediately. You get a little bit of black on the end of your toothpick, and you put 2 little nose holes for this guy. Let me get it. Okay. These are a little bigger than I like, but let's see. That's okay. All right, 2 nose holes. Don't like them, but that's okay. And for the eyes, you take the other end of the toothpick, stick it in the white, and do those 2 little shine spots on the eyes that we did on the elves and the Mr. and Mrs. Santa. There they go. Doesn't that make it look nice? And I don't know if this is going to work because these buttons are still kind of wet, but you put, what I like to do is make them look like buttons. Oh, this is working. And I'll show you just a second. You put 4 little buttonholes in the buttons. And I'm going to do all of them that way. Two down, 1 to go. There you go, buttons with little holes in them. That's what I do. Sometimes what I do is I put a little heart on the side of its eye. So I'm going to, see, I have a dip dot there. This is a toothpick size. 1, another dip dot. See, right next to it, and a 3rd dip dot underneath, and then you give it a little pull, and there you have it, a little heart. That's so the person you give this to knows you love them. Okay, after it dries, I will get some gloss varnish. This is by DecoArt as well, DuraClear. And I will brush the front of it with 2 coats, and then after that's dry, I'll flip it over and brush the back of it. There we have it. Cute little penguin to hang on your tree. Thanks for watching my video of my cute little penguin. The next video I'm doing is a snowman. So tune in, should be a couple of days. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye-bye now.